Hello and welcome to Tim's BMW Repairs and Information. I hope you're having a nice Christmas. It's all been quite jolly here. I've been changing my fuel flap actuator, which is what one of these is. And as you can imagine, it's a bit fiddly to change. And in fact, it's nigh impossible to change unless you know a little trick. And I'm going to show you that. Well, first of all, as I say, this is the actuator. Has a little shaft that whizzes out, locks the filler flap in position so it can't open, and then when you unlock the car it retracts so it can open the flap. Obviously electronically controlled from the car's central locking system, but it's got a little trick up its sleeve which may cause utter confusion. That is, if you unlock the car, it'll unlock the flap. What happens when you lock the car? No. It doesn't lock the flap at all, and that's what confuses so many people. They think this isn't working, and it actually is. If you want this thing to lock the flap again, you have to unlock the car, open the door, shut the door, and then lock the car, and then it will lock the flap into position. Unless you actually get in the car, it won't do anything at all. It'll just stay unlocked, and you'll be scratching your head for hours trying to work out why it's not working. Right, well, the first stage of the job is absolutely straightforward. Removing the actuator, yeah, that's no trouble at all. So all you've got to do is, well, remove the carpets from the boot. Remove the carpets, the three pieces, the bottom bit of carpet, left and the right hand side. I did think of putting the bottom carpet, the carpets, and don't want that. Right hand side's a bit awkward to pull off. And then you've got the fuel filler cap emergency release, which has to be separated halfway down the sort of plastic string. And don't lose it because they're no longer available from BMW. A very kind member gave me this one because the garage lost it. Do the two torque screws which are under the filler flap. You'll need an extension, a universal joint and a Torx bit. Get those two undone. And then it's just a case of fishing the actuator out. So you can join Tim probably about a month ago now and recorded this, getting the actuator out. So let's go back in time. Right, well, where we need to get to first is the fixing, two fixings which hold the actuator in place. The actuator goes along here inside the wing. Let's see what you can see. Oh yeah, you can see quite enough. Right, the two fittings, even though the one I've got second-hand from eBay has actually got Phillips screws on it, or crosshead screws, this has got Torx on it, so I think this is what it should be. Right, I'm using a T20 bit and a universal joint. That allows me to get into there, and we can get these two screws off. I'm not sure how the second one's going to come off, but that's one off. Second one, bit more awkward. Haven't really got anywhere I can put the. Oh, it's quite tight as well. There we go. He's going. Of course, it's all new paint around here, so I want to be really careful I don't damage anything. Right, there we go. That's the two fittings out. The actuator is actually up just below this part of the wing. So you've got to get your arm up in here, and then there's a sort of shelf in here, about the same height as the bottom of the wing. And you get your hand in there and extract the device. There we go. Simple as that. And you can see this has got the emergency pull device on it as well, which acts on that and it pulls it all back again. Probably wouldn't be surprised. Oh, it's all a bit tight actually. Let's see if that actually does anything when I've got my key back. Can you see that? Oh yeah, you can see that. That's fine. Right, let's give it a go. Right, open, close. Yeah, it didn't do a great deal, did it? Open. No, it's not working at all, is it? When you electrically test them, because that's what it did as well, they don't work at 12 volts, they work at about 5 or 6 volts. If you stick 12 volts in there, it'll go out and it'll go back in again because it just overruns. It's a little motor that runs. If you run it too fast, it'll go out, it'll pop back in again, and vice versa. It'll go in and then it'll pop back out again. Actually works at 5 volts or so. So that's very important if you're going to do any testing of it. Okie doke, so that is the faulty one that's come out of my car. It's obviously been changed before because it says petrol flap and something else. Don't quite know what that is. But yeah, so I've replaced it and fixed that problem. But there's a lot of shortfalls and problems to go through before we get there, I'm afraid. The other very important thing is this little fella here. You've probably never seen one of those before. I'll do a little close-up of that for you. Yeah, what is it? Well, you'll see it if you open the fuel filler flap. That thing goes round the shaft of the actuator. So I'll stick that on there. And it does two very important things. Firstly, it is a water seal. It's important to know because if yours has perished or fallen off, then your car's going to start to smell, as they quite often do, when you open all the windows. And the reason for that is the smell's coming from the rear inner wing because moisture's got past this. Okay, so there's a little bellows on it, and that stops any water getting past. The other very important thing about this is you have to take it off when you replace the actuator. Now, if, like me, you have never seen one of these before and you're trying to poke the actuator back into the inner wing, with just your arm up there, yeah, you're never going to get it in into that little bellows. It's just not going to happen. So this actually comes off, and that's the reason why it has two little has a number of indentations in there. It's a BMW special tool to get it off, but it's simple once you know. And with it locked into place, you'll have this little open part will be facing towards the car. Now, if you can grab hold of it and turn it a quarter of a turn, then it comes out. But if you don't turn it and try and force it out like I did, it just snaps in half. So I've got half of one in my car at the moment. This is the replacement from Latvia, as per usual. I just don't know what all the Latvians are doing with all BMW spare parts. But that's a brand new spare part. It's not a second-hand one either. It's absolutely brand new. So we'll go through how to do it because while I was doing it, I didn't realise that this had to come off. And so I was trying all sorts of methods of trying to get the actuator through here, sticking things down the hole, sticking things on the end of the actuator and then poking them down the hole. It wasn't until I realised that this has to come off, and then it becomes rather easy to do. It's quite a simple job. There it comes, coming out now. Right, there we go. Unfortunately, I seem to snapped half of it. Well, bam. Right, let's see what we can see. Oh, I saw the little snout. There we go, I've got the snout. There we go. Right, unscrew in. I'm probably going to have to RTV that blooming bellows back in now. There we go. That's one in. Right, extract my arm. Yeah, that's no fun at all, that. So we'll get your arm right up here. Should have been a vet. That can't be right, can it? It's miles too far out. There's the hole. That's it there. Okay. There we go. There we go.
one in. That's 2 in. Yeah, managed to do it without scratching the new paint, so that's good. Yes, the way this goes in and out, I'll zoom you right in. The way this fella goes in and out, you have to turn it. Now that's what the holes were for. So it goes in there and then you turn it to lock it like that, and then it doesn't pull out anymore. There you go, so you learn something new every day. Turn it anti-clockwise, it'll pop out of the hole, put it back in, turn it clockwise, probably needs to be turned a little bit further than that. What should we do? Break it completely this time. There we go. Right, so the slot faces on the inside. Okay, so that's all glued in. Now, probably most of you don't need one because your car's a garage, but mine's out on the drive all the time and left outside at work. And so, yeah, one of those is probably reasonably useful, I would have thought. As I say, such a simple job. It's only 2 screws holds it on, and it's a quickly unplug one, plug a new one, take that out, stick the new one in, put that back in again, all done. But not for me, of course, because I didn't know what I was doing. Took a couple of hours or so, and I managed to break my own one of these. Thank goodness for Latvia having them in stock, that's what I say. Anyway, if that helped, put the thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a good holiday break. And yeah, I'll see you next time.